morning. Myself Aspati Nabina M from NBKST College of Education, R2. Today we are going to discuss about the topic ratio. Ratio. A ratio is a comparison of two quantities with same unit. A ratio is a comparison of two quantities with same unit. In ratio, we compare two quantities like our height to our weight or our mass to another person's mass. In a ratio, we compare two things, but the two quantities which is in a same unit. For example, if we compare 1 kilogram to 1 gram or 1 kilogram to 5 gram, then we will change that kilogram into gram. Then only the two quantities will be the same units. The second one is, if A and B are two different quantities with same unit, the same unit, then we can write the ratio as A is to B, which is in this form only we denoted the ratios. We denote the ratio to numbers ratios as A is to B. A ratio can be written as a fraction. Ratios are mostly written in the simplest form. For example, if A is to B is a fraction, is a ratio form, then we can write that as a fraction form. For example, if A is to B is the ratio, then we can write as A divided by B. Then it is a fraction form. And the ratios are mostly written in the simplest form. Therefore, if the ratios we can simplify by dividing the greatest common factor. For example, 2 is to 4. Here, 2 is the greatest common factor. So, we can divide each number by 2. Then the ratio will be in the simplest form. The ratio of rice water in terms of number of cups can be written in the three different ways as 1:2, 1 divided by 2 or 1:2. For example, 1:2 is the ratio form and 1 divided by 2 is a fraction form. We can write a ratio in a three different forms. Next, there is an example to finding the ratio. Write the ratio of shaded portion to the unshaded portion in the following shape. Shaded portion to unshaded portion. So, in first we will write the shaded portion, then we will write the unshaded portion. Right. Here, in first example, there is only one shaded part. Right. Then we can write 1 is to how many unshaded portions in this picture? There is only 2 unshaded portions. Then we can write 1:2 is the ratio of the first figure. Therefore, the shaded portions to the unshaded portion in the first figure is 1:2. The next figure, here how many shaded parts are there? 5. 5 shaded parts are there and 4 unshaded parts are there. So we can write 5:4 as the ratio of the second figure. Properties of ratio. A ratio has no unit. For example, if we compare 1 kg and 5 kg, we denote simply as 1:5. We do not write 1 kg is to 5 kg. A ratio has no unit. That means we only written the numbers, not the unit. Here also one example. The ratio of 8 km to 4 km is written as 8:4, not 8 km to 4 km, and it is also denoted as 2:1. Why it is denoted as 2:1? It is the simplest form of 8:4. Here the 4 is the greatest common factor. So we can divide 8 by 4, then we get 2, and we divide 4 by 4, then we get 1. Then 8:4 is also written as 2:1. We already learned a ratio is always written in the simplest form. So 8:4, 2:1 is the simplest form of 8:4. Second one, the two quantities in a ratio should be of the same unit. We already learned in a ratio when we compare two quantities, they must be in a same unit. For example, the ratio of 4 km to 400 meter. Here, the first quantity is in the unit kilometer and the second quantity is in the meter, unit meter. So there are different units, right? So we can change the different unit into the same unit. So we can change kilometer into meter, right? 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meter. Then we can change that 4 into 1000. That means 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. Then we can change that 4 kilometer into 4000 meter. Then we can write 4000 meter is to 400 meter. But we do not write the unit. 4000 is to 400. Then we can divide each other by 400 because 400 is the greatest common factor of 4000 and 400. Then we can get the simplest form 10:1. So the first property of ratio is the ratio has no unit, and the second one, the two quantities in a ratio should be in the same unit. Second one, each number of the ratio is called a term. Term means if in a ratio A is to B, then the two numbers A and B are called the terms of the ratio. Order of terms in a ratio cannot be reversed. For example, 10:1 is a ratio, then we can't say that 1:10 is also same. 10:1 and 1:10 are also different. They are not same. So the order of terms in the ratio cannot be reversed. Next we will see on example for simplifying the ratio 20:5. So first 20:5 we can change the ratio form into fraction form, right?